With the COVID numbers turning grim, 2,600 to 2,800 daily deaths on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the media are again covering a fierce debate over locking down businesses, and things got pretty heated between CNBC's Rick Santelli and Andrew Ross Sorkin.
The difference between a big box retailer, hold on, the difference between a big box retailer and a restaurant, or frankly, even a church, are so different, it's unbelievable.
I live in an area where there's a lot of restaurants that have fought back and they don't have any problems. And they're open.
Okay, you don't have to believe it, but let me just say this. You're doing a disservice to the viewer because the viewers need to understand it.
You are doing a disservice to the viewer. You are.
Will Kane, Rick Santelli is a conservative whose on-air rant helped launch the Tea Party. Andrew Sorkin is a more liberal New York Times business columnist. So settle this. Who was doing a disservice to voters?
Well, I mean, I take no pleasure in this, nor do I find this anything personal, but Andrew Ross Sorkin is doing a disservice to the viewers because he is condescendingly, smugly telling us exactly how it is and not backing it up. I don't understand how it is a big box retailer so clearly different than a church or a small business. Why is it that a big box retailer should be open while small businesses shut down? And I'm not going to be satisfied with a simple intonation of it's science. I don't understand. How is that science? And you repeating it over and over isn't an explanation. It's just you looking down your nose at us. You know, that's the thing, Howie, that I really get fired up about. I've been in the media for quite some time, and I've been at several media institutions, and it is rife with condescension. It is rife with smugness and elitism towards people out there across the country. And I think it's embodied in that clip right there. Really sitting there going, you know, corporations, they're the ones that can do this right. But you at home, you individuals, you small businesses, follow the science. You must shut down. It's just absolutely condescending, and I don't think it's appropriate anymore when you're speaking from a big pulpit.
On that point, condescension is a big reason why a lot of people really distrust or resent the media. Kristen Soltis-Anderson, does public opinion tend to be reduced to an either-or situation when we talk about whether it's big box retailers versus schools versus churches versus local restaurants, or do the media tend to reduce these questions to black and white because it makes for better television?
Well, what I see in public opinion is that by and large, Americans across the political spectrum want to make smart personal choices for themselves. The problem is that a lot of the experts that they've been hearing from over the last year, there have been many mixed messages, whether it ranged from early in the pandemic being told don't wear masks, to then being told no, wear masks, or being told don't congregate with lots of people, but then suddenly public health experts sort of waving some of that away during the protests over the summer. The reality is that the virus doesn't care how virtuous your cause is. All it cares is how close are you in proximity to other people who can be a host for the virus. And I think that lack of credibility paired with many politicians who have been, for instance, caught lecturing their city, don't get together, don't see your family for Thanksgiving while traveling to Cabo, closing down restaurants that have invested a lot in trying to create outdoor dining, saying, nope, not even outdoor dining anymore, when just recently they were dining at high-end restaurants in California. Plenty of instances of hypocrisy from many of our leaders, and that's why people who want to do the right thing feel a little bit lost as to what that is right now.
Right, and those are Democratic mayors and governors. Leslie Marshall, most of California starting today is under a stay-at-home order. Los Angeles County, where you are, took the lead. Do you think the media debate reflects the difficulty of these decisions about restrictions and curfews in which businesses or other institutions should be able to remain open?
Absolutely. I know you guys get sick of hearing it. My husband came home yesterday, and he looked like he had been beaten up. And he has been on ER call for 7 days straight. And this is what he told me, and I quote, "I have never seen it like this before. We are running out of beds in the ICU. They are building tents in the parking lot, and I have never seen so many people code in my life. I have partners and staff who are positive. It just doesn't stop." And this is what I'm hearing. A neighbor of mine, who's an ER doctor, he said, every other day I think I have COVID. People don't understand, whether it's a politician or the media, the science is so fluid on this, Howie, because this is so new.
Right.
Doctors are learning.
And this is why it's so challenging. So challenging for the media.
Exactly.
Well, I've got 20 seconds.
The challenge is in that ER. And the reason we have a lockdown is not political. It is because there are people who are not complying with social distancing. There are people that are not complying with not gathering, and people not complying with wearing masks.
We're all concerned about that.
And that's hurting our healthcare system.
Let me get Will in for a final thought in 20 seconds.
I'd love to answer the question you asked, Leslie. Is there a tie between politicians who are hypocritical and the media attitude towards this? Yes, it is that elitism. It's rules for the little people, but not for me. It is absolutely a view from a lockstep, one point of view with inside the halls of most media companies that says, listen to me preach. Don't worry about what I practice. The same as politicians.
Yeah, hypocrisy is pretty thick. All right, thank you all, panel.